Welcome back to another episode of What's on the Table, where we show you our
They're like the last thing.
They're like, yeah, the cream of the crop, man. The cream
of the crop is this.
Welcome back to KO Retro, where we gargle farts. Just like last month, we found some stuff here, and we're gonna share that with you. I didn't get a chance to get out too much this month, but every time I did get out, it feels like I found something.
I got to get out this month, and I'm really happy about what I found and what I picked up. I think I'll take the lead on this. I'm gonna start off with 2 Super Nintendo games. The first being Blackthorn, Super Nintendo game. It's got like a Prince of Persia feel to it. I can't wait to dive into this. Really good game. Yeah, it's in rough shape, but you know,
flakes are falling off. Flakes are falling off the cartridge as we speak.
You know what I mean? It's snowing Nintendo there. The second Super Nintendo game.
This is a good one. You got lucky with this.
Yeah, this was a score. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Not an easy one to find nowadays.
I got them both at $5 a game. They were like the 2 best ones out of all the other ones. I think I seen like Super R-Type there and Mario's Paint, but other than that, these 2 are the ones I grabbed.
I'll come in here next. We went to Soundgrow, another one of our local gaming stores, and I came out with our very first Master System games, and I'm pretty happy to have these. The first one, Outrun. I know it's a pretty common game. This is probably your dollar bin, you know, your $2 bin game. Nothing too crazy here.
I didn't know they make that for the Master System.
Yeah. Also an arcade title, if I'm not mistaken. Next game we got here, Choplifter. Another really common game here.
That one's fun.
We spent a little time with this one the night we brought it home.
That one's fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, had a good time with that.
The next 2 I'm gonna go in with a couple of PlayStation 2 titles. Went to Soundgrow to pick this one up, and it is Tokobots. Reminds me somewhat like Mega Man Legends. You go in and you search for treasure and you discover mysteries about the Tokobots.
Never heard of that. What is it, like an RPG? What is it like?
It's got like
You said it's like Mega Man Legends, so it's like some.
It's like a puzzler. It's got like a puzzler aspect to it.
I haven't really played Mega Man Legends either. I mean, yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
1, 2, and Tron Bond.
Yeah.
All 3 of those. Play all 3 of those because
they're very expensive. I know that.
So this next one, you know, I didn't get the actual case for it, but Def Jam Vendetta Fight for New York. This game is actually getting expensive now.
The disc is in good shape too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's really all you can ask for. I mean, anytime you buy a disc game that's not in the case, it's kind of sad.
It plays.
I'm gonna jump in with the next find here, and this is video game related, but it's not any video games. I told myself I wasn't gonna get into these. Told myself I wasn't gonna buy any of these stupid things, but I bought a bunch of Amiibos. I'm gonna show 2 right now. 2 of the ones that I picked up: Falco and Fox. A couple of really cool ones here. I wanted to have both of these. I'm a real big fan of the Star Fox series. 2 I'm most proud of right here: Captain Falcon and Little Mac.
You know what, like, I'm glad I'm not taking this on. I was thinking about it, and they look so cool the way they present the boxes, because you can actually sit them up on a shelf and just
the boxes sit nicely.
Yeah, and leave them as is.
I got Captain Falcon because Captain Falcon's my favorite fighter. Maybe he's not the best Smash Brothers fighter, but he's my favorite. I just like the way he controls. Little Mac came into the fight with the Wii U version, and man, what a fight it is every time between the 2. They're just as fast as each other. They control very similarly, and it's just a good brawl between the 2 every time, and I know you like to pick Little Mac.
Yeah, I'm a little envious of your Little Mac Amiibo. Yeah. And they got such good detail too.
They're pretty.
Like,
they are pretty.
Detailed. So I'll go into a figure of my own, and it's a SH Figuarts Mega Man Zero. I love the Mega Man Zero series. It's probably my most favorite series of the bunch. Really happy to have this.
That is a cool looking figure.
Very poseable, very poseable. Down to the faces and the weapons it comes with. Like, it's...
Well, you would never know that.
Yeah, it's insane. Well, you can see it back there. You know, it's insane.
What was it, Mike? NRFB?
NRFB. Never removed from the box.
That's right. I'm going to jump in here with my only Game Boy pickup. And this is kind of carrying in from the last video. Still on a James Bond kick. Now, I already have this game, but it's James Bond 007 for the Game Boy. I'm really happy to get this because I didn't have it in the box. This game means a lot to me from my childhood. It's in such good shape. I picked it up yet again at Soundgrow. Good price. Happy to add that one in.
I keep on saying it, but I have to get into 007 at some point. I gotta try to take the time out to watch like a lot of them.
Yeah,
That's what it is, you know. I went to a flea market and I picked up a regular Nintendo. You know, not for nothing, I think everybody should have a regular Nintendo in the house just sitting there with a couple of games.
That's your first one.
Yeah, my first pickup of a regular Nintendo. Like, I mean, we had one years ago.
Yeah, not your first one, but first one in a long time, right?
Yeah, and this time, this Nintendo ain't going nowhere. These are diehards too. Like, I plugged it in, pressed it, light works fine. I'm pretty sure all I gotta get is like a pin connector for it, but really happy to have it.
The next games I'm going to show you are my Super Nintendo finds for the month. Didn't pick up anything real spectacular here. A couple of commons that I didn't already have, and the first one is Populous. Something I'm happy to throw on the shelf for a couple bucks. The next one is Ultraman. It's a platformer. Again, I don't really know a lot about it. This one caught my eye because, well, when looking at it, I only saw the spine, and that's the Lawnmower Man. Because there's no lawnmower. There's not. I really fully expected a guy pushing a lawnmower. I was really hoping for that.
That's a god ugly cart. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible.
All right. So the next thing I'm gonna get into here, Samurai Jack for the Game Boy Advance in the box. Very happy to have this.
Early 2000s cartoon on Cartoon Network. I liked that cartoon.
Me too.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. This one is actually pretty good. It's got like RPG elements to it. So I'm really happy to own this one, and in the box at that. The next two are gems. One is Advanced Guardian Heroes. It's the sequel to Guardian Heroes for the Sega Saturn. It's made by the same people who made Gunstar Heroes.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, Treasure. It was made by Treasure.
So is it like Gunstar Heroes?
Yeah, it looks just like almost Gunstar Heroes game.
Okay,
but
does it play like it though? That's the question.
It plays different, and I like the way it plays.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of Gunstar Heroes, this one is probably my favorite gem out the two. This is Gunstar Superheroes. It's the sequel to Gunstar Heroes on the Sega. I got to play this before even owning it, and it was one of those games that I knew I had to get, and it's one of those that I feel like is just gonna go up and keep going up. The last one is Top Gear Pocket Racers
2.
I don't really know nothing about this game. It looks cool.
Top Gear, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know you did a segment on Top Gear.
Yeah.
I know you did one on Top Gear.
One of my earliest videos. You always are diving into handheld games, and I appreciate that, you know what I mean? Because, like, that's something I don't really get into too much. So the next thing I'm going to show off here are my NES pickups for the month, and I only got 2 games. The first one, pretty lousy, but this kind of means something to me. It's Tecmo Baseball. It's always cool to come across these old boxes, especially for not a lot of money. Now, Tecmo Baseball isn't by any means the greatest baseball game on the system, but it's one of my favorites. Now, this is one of the coolest pickups I've had in a while, and that's North and South on the NES. It's something I've wanted to add to the collection for a long time. It's one of the earlier strategy games, at least that I've ever played, that I've ever seen.
Oh, it looks clean.
Yeah, it's in good shape. And here we are all these years later, and I finally find the thing. I've never seen it in the wild, and finally I come across one in a store. So, real happy to get that.
I picked up, for Sega, Insector X.
This thing looks cool. I want to see it.
It's complete.
It's a shooter, isn't it?
Yeah. So this next one is MS-DOS, and
big box PC game.
Yeah, it's called The Pearls of Rosella.
Nope.
What is it called?
King's Quest IV: The Perils of Rosella.
The Perils.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you a look at that right there. Turn around. You probably could even elaborate more on these kind of games than I can. Like,
honestly,
you know what I mean?
no, because the earliest system I had growing up was an NES. Now, I know King's Quest was a real big deal for a lot of people. I never had a chance to play King's Quest, but this thing comes minty and complete. I mean, the instruction manual's in there. The tag here says something like EGA and Tandy, and to be honest with you, I mean, I've heard of Tandy. I don't know what EGA means. I don't really know how to play the thing. It's 3.5-inch floppy disks. I'll find a way.
It's odd. It's not in my category of games, by no means. Okay, so this is probably my most favorite pickup of all. I'm a handheld guy. I love handhelds. I love collecting for them.
I'm actually pretty jealous of it.
A Game Boy Advance SP regular NES style.
My favorite part, if you open it back up for a second, my favorite part is the texture. It's just like an NES controller.
That feel. Now when I buy Mario on the go, I all the way feel like I'm playing it on a mini regular Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'm extremely happy to own this. This is
That's fantastic,
one of my top buys.
Well, I'm going to wrap up my section here of the pickup video with my Sega Genesis pickups. First one's nothing real crazy. That's Super Hang-On. I already had this game as part of the 6-pack set, you know, so I've played enough Super Hang-On. Just cool to have it in the box again, found it for dirt cheap, so I figured why not, I like Sega boxes. Who doesn't like boxes? The next two I'm real happy with, starting with Sunset Riders. I'm not gonna claim that I got a good deal on this one because I just kind of bit the bullet on eBay, sort of like I did on the Super Nintendo one that I bought a few years ago. It's complete, it's beautiful, I'm happy to have it. It's not as good as the Super Nintendo version in my personal opinion.
I like the Sega version.
And then finally, a reproduction game, Mega Man and the Wily Wars. Big disappointment though, it doesn't have a battery built in. And this is something I guess I should have inquired about when I bought the thing, but I can't save it. So whenever I play these games, no way to save the file, which really stinks. But it's still cool to pop the cartridge in and play it on my Genesis.
So last but not least, this was a treasure find. I got these at a flea market. One is the Commodore 64C. This thing is just outright pretty.
It is pretty. Always wanted to come across a Commodore. A little envious that it was you that found it. He found this thing at a flea market that I've gone to probably 100 times and I never find anything. He's been going there the last couple weeks. He finds gold. He just finds console and game after game and it's driving me crazy. The Commodore 64C was a remodeled version. I know there was some stuff done underneath the surface here. It's not just visual, but I'm not a pro on these old computers. Seems solid enough. I'd be willing to bet it probably works.
The next one, I actually spotted this I got it the same day I got the Commodore.
So I've never seen this before.
This one is, I guess I'm gonna hold it this way.
Tilts it upwards. Turn it like
this?
Yeah, well, yeah.
The Commodore 16.
Yeah, go ahead and open the box. He showed up with this thing, and it was so clean. I'd never heard of a Commodore 16. But the moment he had the thing there, and I took a look at it, this is what aside from it being black, of course, this is what I'm used to seeing when it comes to a Commodore 64 is this shape. So I did a little research, and come to find out, this is an entry-level computer at the time. It was meant to replace the VIC-20. It's just a cheaper version of the 64, at least from what I can gather. But still, pretty cool to have it.
Real pretty looking.
It is pretty, and it's super clean. I don't think this thing's hardly ever been used. I feel like this thing's been in the box for years.
It came with, like, you know, the owner's guide. It's got the power adapter. You even got this, the C16 tutor.
That's a sweet find. You know, I'm glad you grabbed that. Really cool to have because I know there exist games on these that, you know, neither of us ever got a chance to play growing up. So that just opened up some new avenues for us.
So we want to give two special shout outs. One to RetroLumixNation. He's one to look out for.
The guy's got a fantastic collection, and he definitely knows what he's talking about. His videos are informative, they're a lot of fun to watch, especially when you get to see him go into the stores like that and find, you know, the deals that he's finding. And he talks about it, it's insane. I wish I could find some of this stuff like he does.
Definitely be looking at more of his videos, can't wait.
The next shout out we want to give, and this one's really important to both of us personally, is Robot City Arcade. It's one of our local game stores here in town, and they have probably the best arcade I've ever been in my entire life. They've recently acquired a new building, amassed some space to put all these arcade machines. They have over 100 of them. The state dropped down on them, and they want them to install a sprinkler system, you know, for safety. That makes sense, but this was an unforeseen cost. Total something in the neighborhood of about $40,000 for the particular building that they're in.
If you want to help out their cause, you can go to Indigo, and if you'd like to support, the link will be down below. Please do. Anything helps.
Seriously, I mean, if you saw this arcade, people would be traveling from out of state just to see this thing if you're a gamer like us. Some really old school cool games in there.
Yeah, a lot. You're never disappointed when you really go in there, honestly and truthfully, you're not.
Again, it's a cost that took them off guard. It's not something that they were expecting, and we don't want to lose this amazing game store, this amazing arcade. One of our good friends, Sean, works there, and we don't want to see him without a job either. Yeah, you got anything to add to this?
Just, if you ever stop in Binghamton and you're looking to play some games, go to Robot City and take the time to look around. You won't be disappointed.
Yep. And now that you're browsing around YouTube and now that it's the end of our video, go over to RetroLumixNation and check out this guy's videos, okay? Seriously.
Yeah, I can't stress it enough. Like, I mean, I really like his videos.
That's if you didn't already come here as a result of him sending you here.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So that's this month's pickup video. This is what's on the table for February 2016.
Look forward to March.
If you liked the video, hit the like button. And if you like what we do here,
please subscribe. That like button and subscribing always helps.
Guess we'll see you next month.
It's been real.